Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about safes, trunks, and different things like that, and a few tips and tricks, and then also a few warning signs as well that you need to look for. So, alright, so the first thing we'll talk about is trunks. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of these in storage units. I would say one out of 5, maybe possibly 1 out of like 8 storage units that I buy, I see a trunk in there, okay? Now, a couple things. One, you do not want to get emotional when you see a trunk. Look, there's no difference between a trunk and a box, okay? They can have the same exact stuff in there. People, when they see trunks, they think that there's going to be a lot of treasure, gold, really expensive stuff. And honestly, I can buy about maybe 20 of these and maybe one of them will have some good stuff in there. So the reason I'm kind of talking about this is you also will see on YouTube and different things, you know, these trunks that are pulling out all this crazy stuff. You need to keep your expectations, you know, where they need to be, level playing field, because a lot of times when you find these things, they don't have that stuff in them, okay? So one thing that I do is, you know, when you see this online, you will always see the bid price go higher because you've got new storage unit buyers that see these trunks and they think that there's going to be gold in there, and the price will go a lot higher than normal. So just understand that it's cool to get these. It is exciting. It's the reason that we buy storage units, is for that treasure. But a lot of times you've got to have expectations where they need to be, because a lot of these do not have anything in them. And then on top of that, these trunks themselves don't go for a lot of money. They're really hard to sell, at least in my area. And they're all over the place. Now there is some unique ones. Maybe back in the day, some of the more wood trunks, those maybe possibly do sell. I've sold a few of those, but they take a little bit of time, they sit. So these don't sell for a lot of money, but when you see these suckers, understand that a lot of times they don't have treasure in them, okay? So don't overbid just to get this, because you'll be disappointed and you'll overspend, okay? All right, so let's move on. And the biggest thing, guys, is remember, I'm sure everybody that's watching this course have seen all these YouTube videos. Found trunks, you know, found this, that, right? Found military trunks. And just use that with a grain of salt, because sometimes that may not be the reality of things, right? So just understand that when you see these, don't change your bidding, the way you bid and the way that you profile storage units just because you see a trunk. All right, so safes are fun. And I gotta be honest, it's kind of the same thing as trunks, guys. A lot of times when you buy safes, there is no money in there. There's no jewelry in there. A lot of times it's just paperwork and personal items, okay? You'll find all kinds of safes. A lot of times you could find these Century, you know, these basic safes you can find and buy at Walmart, these really cheap ones. They're flame and fire resistant. And then sometimes you do find actual safes where you can use a crowbar and open it up with a crowbar and a hammer. And then you find some really expensive safes too. And those, so you got to understand that, just do your research. If you find a kind of a safe that looks like it's really expensive and it's solid metal, you may want to get that checked out and actually go to a locksmith, and they can see if they can unlock it for you, because the safe itself may be worth money, okay? And then you find a lot of these that they're really not worth anything. And you never really find the keys to them. So I'm going to show you kind of how to open this up the quick way. But I just want to make sure that we understand that you see so much online regarding safes. You know, you see like all these videos, and you see Storage Wars and all these shows that show all this stuff being pulled out of safes. You can't change the way you buy storage units just because you find a safe. And I think safes are a gut feeling for me. Like, the best safes that I found primarily have good stuff in there because the whole storage unit has good stuff in there, okay? When you find a safe in the corner of a storage unit and the rest of the storage unit doesn't look great, 9 times out of 10, you won't find anything good in the safe. But if you find a safe and the storage unit itself looks really good, that's the indication that I'll bid a little higher, just because the safe is in there. So just understand that that's kind of the techniques that you want to look at. So if you find a safe and the other components of the storage unit look really good, maybe there's a few, you know, gun cases or different things, nice boxes, solid wood furniture. It looks like it's old, nobody's been in there for a while. Maybe that's the time that you'll bid a little extra because of the safe. But if you see a safe and it's a bunch of garbage boxes and doesn't look really good, then more than likely it probably doesn't have anything in there. So, all right, so let's go ahead and show you how. I actually have the key to this, by the way, and you're gonna find a lot of these lockbox safes, right? And so, I think this one may be broken actually. Let me see. All right, so you're gonna find a lot of these safes, and the quick way to open it is to drop it on this pressure point right here on the side, okay? You always typically do it on the back side of the safe, not the front side of the safe. And I'm not saying this will work the first time, so we'll try it, but that's typically how you would do these smaller safes, okay? So you basically just drop it on the back side. All right, so this is basically how you will open the safe, guys. You want to drop it on the back side pressure point of the safe, not the front side. Now, I'm not saying this will open. We're going to try it right now and see if it opens. But that's typically how you do it right here. If not, you can use a crowbar or something like that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to drop it on the ground. Ready? And there you go. All right, so we're going to recap this since it was kind of a long video here. So don't change your buying, the structure, the way you buy storage units. Don't overbid just because you see trunks, okay? It's one of the most gut feeling parts of storage units. You've got to get a gut feeling. It's hard to explain. Once you see one, you'll understand. A lot of new buyers, they get excited when they see trunks and safes because they see all the videos. Remember, your brain teaches you over, the period of last 6 months to a year, you see all these people pulling out stuff out of here. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they're buying a lot of storage units, and there may be one or two that are good, but the vast majority of them are bad, okay? They don't have anything in there that's worth value. So basically the recap here, guys, is don't change your bidding structure. Also understand that, some of the if you come across a really heavy old safe, do your research on it. Some of them are not worth money. Some of them are worth money, okay? So contact a locksmith that sells safes and get their opinion. You can just Google that and Google a locksmith near you and probably give them the model number or the picture of the safe and they'll tell you. Also, these guys, remember, we opened this one up, but just hit it on the back side of the safe, and typically they open up. It'll save you a lot of time, okay? You don't need to throw it down, just drop it on the back side of the safe and they typically open up. And basically, guys, this is one of the most exciting parts of storage units. Not just, buying storage units, but the possibility of having treasure in them is extremely cool, and that's the reason we do this. It's the modern day treasure hunt. It's the idea of getting really great stuff, and but understand that you also have to be responsible about the money that you spend. And that's why I always recommend you are on YouTube, you put these videos on YouTube, because YouTube will pay you and it will allow you to take on a little more risk when you come across these type of units, because you can spend more because you're getting money from YouTube to help pay for some of the storage units. Anyways, that's another video. This was safes and trunks. Talk to you soon and continue to watch these videos.